Hello again, Steve here with a few comments on the power of our words. I was talking to a guy yesterday after work. Guy drives a truck to and from one city to the other, and he was talking about the urban problems in this one city that he goes to, the inner city, with the native populations, native Indians, North American Indians, whatever you want to call them. A lot of social issues. I'm not going to get into my comments on why the social issues, but he was talking about one time how he was talking to this old Indian guy, and he used to live in a group home when he was a kid, because a lot of these, it comes from the family. I think it's just this total dysfunction in the family, a lot of single parenthood and alcoholism and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of kids will end up in foster homes or group homes and this sort of thing in this area. And this kid, he'd look out this window and he remembered seeing white guys as being taught that these were evil or something like that, right? And there was this old guy lived across the street from the group home, so the young Indian guy's looking out through the window each day, and this old guy would wave and say hello, kind of thing, just basically next door or across the street or something, really close by anyway. And every time the Indian kid would turn away. And because the old guy didn't give up, I guess he didn't see him as some kind of a pervert or something. He was just genuinely hello. If somebody's looking at you, say hello. One day the young guy was walking out, and he met this guy in person, I guess, across a sidewalk or something, and hello. So and the guy said something else. He said, if you ever need a little bit of work, you can give me a hand. I'm working in my garage, fixing up old cars, so I can teach you how to pull wrenches or something like that. So the young guy did do this. He started going over to the old guy's house, and the old guy taught him a lot about just that he had value, right? Because a lot of times people in those situations lost their parents. The parents are, traumatized them, whatever. The system traumatized them. They end up in a foster home. They don't feel like they have any value in life, right? But this old guy showed him that he had value, that he could actually learn something, this sort of thing. And at one point the discussion came up about the whole cultural divide, right? The Indian versus the white guy. And the white guy was very, very honest. He said, look, because I think the young guy was, it's you guys who got us in this problem. The old guy was basically saying, look, you got to leave that behind. You got to stop blaming other people. And you got to own your life. And the old guy, the old Indian guy now we're switching back, right? Because the guy was telling me the story. He said the old Indian guy was telling him that was a turning point in his life. It's a turning point in his life, to the point now where he's a vocal advocate for, for people, I guess, for something, but along the lines of, own your life and get out there and don't focus so much on, white guy, Indian guy, this guy, that guy. Just, be the best you can be. I thought that was a powerful story, because it surprised me actually who this story was coming from, because, so I like anybody else will judge a book by its cover, rather. And this guy that was telling me the story, he didn't look like any kind of a polished guy. He just a bit of a ruffian, and he talks race all the time, and this side and that side. But he's one of these guys who says it like it is. If he says that's bullshit that's going on, and it's those guys who are doing it, or it's that kind of guy who's doing it, he'll say it. He doesn't hold back because he feels that something might be racist. He just says it like it is. So I always had this sense that the guy was a little bit unpolished. But he told me the story. I thought it was a very profound story, because it came down to, I realized, as an example of the power of words and how powerful our words can be, and for us to remember that, for the positive and the negative. Here was a guy, this old Indian guy, made the point that what that old white guy told him made a difference in his life, and it was a turning point. He remembered it as a turning point. Now, it may not have been the entire thing. You know, there's lots. Everybody says, "Oh, this was the turning point." Well, no, we lead up to that turning point, right? We're going down the road. Finally, we turn. But if we weren't going down the road, we wouldn't have turned, because it would have been swamp. We couldn't turn. So, I mean, he was somehow moving on that path or whatever, but he remembers that as significant. Therefore, it is an important icon, if you will, a point, a focal point, to realize that if that old guy hadn't said that, maybe he would have continued a lot longer before he made the turn. But he did say it. How is this important for improving the quality of our lives? Well, probably because when we realize that the best thing we can be is honest, then our words are going to reflect that. Our words are going to be words of honesty. May not be 100% truthful, because a lot of times truth and honesty they don't coincide. But the best truth that we can, the closest we can get to the truth, that's our honesty. And by admitting, look, I don't know everything. I don't know a lot about this, but this is my impression or whatever. These sorts of ways of putting things forward are truthful. I mean, there's an old saying, if somebody asks, do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? The honesty is, I don't know the whole truth. How the hell can I tell you the whole truth? What the hell is the whole truth? Be honest. I'll be honest. That's as close as I can get. And that's where words, of course, actions are there too, of course. But words are so important because they're what people hear, right? And people see the actions too. That's also important. They have to coincide. But talking about words right here, they are so powerful, and they enslave many people and they liberate people too, as is the example of this guy who was this truck driver guy was telling me the story of this old Indian guy. Those words made a difference in his life. That, I think, is something for us all to remember, to be cognizant of what we talk about, what we say, especially in reference to others, but of course in everything, but in reference to others. Very important. Hope this is helpful. Hope to talk to you again soon. Bye-bye for now.